And I'm going to pop my chat out so I can watch on Hangouts.
Yeah, that's
what. I forgot to put the title in. Shoot.
Well, you can put it in later after it.
I know. I just wanted people to see it and know what, what we were doing. But I can't go back and do it now, so.
Hello, everyone. We're getting things queued up. Oh, boy. Lisa, they are here. There's like 9 people already here. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Beth, Cheryl, Giovanna, Patricia, Zoe, Janet, Beverly, Joan, Kendra. Wow. Sharon, we're glad y'all are all here. Y'all are fast.
They want to do this.
That's good. That's a good thing. I'm trying to arrange my thing so I can see chat and see what's going on here too. So,
Zoe, what we need so far is 2 boxes that are the same size. I'm using 2 Jell-O boxes. So you need 2 boxes that are the same size. That's the first thing you need. Hi, Cheryl and Brittany. Oh, I forgot. Did I turn off my sound on my?
You must have, because it's not echoey.
Okay. Are we still bouncing back and forth though? No, I don't think so.
No, it's on Becky right now. Let me put it on you.
Okay. Zoe, Lisa's using Milk Dud boxes. I'm using 2 Jell-O boxes. Becky, what are you using?
I'm using the dividers from my cat food.
Oh, the dividers from her cat food. And Mina, yes, Mina, it is me talking right this second.
I'm in the blue screen. Becky.
And mine has leaves, and Lisa's has Milk Duds.
Mine's the yummiest.
Yeah, mine indicates exactly what my week was like last week. I ate 3 boxes of Jell-O in one day.
Oh, you know, you
that
could
was
just
all
take
I
little
ate.
plastic things out. You didn't have to eat it.
No, I had to eat it, honey. I had to eat it because that was all I was allowed to eat.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was all I was allowed to eat. I was starving the next day.
I bet. That's sad.
And Patricia and Laura is here. Janet's here. I didn't see Janet pop in until just now. Barb is here.
Hi, Kim.
There's Beth.
Kim is here. Anyways, guys, guaranteed we're going to miss somebody because, frankly, the chat pops through real fast. And if we do, hello, hello, hello.
Tanya, why don't you go ahead and give a quick one-over of what you're going to do to decorate your cover?
Okay.
And then I'll let Becky do the same. And then I'll move it to me. And I'll show kind of how we're going to put it together.
Okay, that sounds good. I have 2 Jell-O boxes that I'm going to use for mine. I have gessoed both of them because what I'm going to use to cover it is some jelly prints that's just on copy paper. And I was afraid that the Jell-O design would show through. So Lisa, is it on me?
I think so. I mean, I see you
on
YouTube.
All right. Okay, that's fine. All right. I'm sorry. The jelly prints I'm going to use. These are the 2. Once I get my book together, it'll be long, sort of like that, because I haven't trimmed it or anything. It still looks like boxes, and it'll be long, but it should fit. One paper should fit the whole length of it. So I'm going to put one on one side and one on the other side. Now, because of the way the book goes, it will end up being that Okay, I've got an issue here. I've got it backwards. Here we go. The spines of 2 spines will be one color, and the other spine will be the other color, which is fine with me. So that's my plan. Okay, Lisa, I'm done.
Alrighty, I'll move it over to Becky.
All right. So since I'm doing something weird from everybody else, I've added texture with my gesso with a palette knife. You just put the gesso on, cover the whole thing thin, and then just put a little bit of gesso on the back, and you raise and lift it, and it makes the texture. So it'll end up looking like leather, like stuff. But what I was going to do while they're covering with paper, I'm going to do Lisa's pick 10 from last night. So that's what I'm just gathering the stuff up. Because, you know, they're trimming their sides off now so that they can get rectangles like I already have. And I figure I'll just watch, and then when they're starting to put them together, you know, in one big length, hopefully I'll be done decorating by then. So that's what I'm going to do.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm going to show you. Well, let me show you what I'm going to do first. I've got 2 different kinds of leather here. This one is a green, and it's very drapey. It's probably what I'm going to use because it bends so easy. I think it'll work better on the book. But I've also got this black, which I think would emboss better. And so that's what I really want to use. So I'm still thinking about it. It's pretty, you know, it's pretty bendy too. But if I use this, I don't know if I can emboss on the suede. Does anybody know? Have you tried to emboss on suede?
I've only
You
done
mean heat emboss with embossing powder, huh?
Yes. Heat emboss with embossing powder.
Ooh.
Well, the big issue would be if it's sticking to it and getting enough of the ink into the suede fibers to make it stay. I would think it would work.
It looks like it might even work better than the shiny. Like it would stick in, the glue stuff would go in better.
Yeah, that is a, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Hi, Brittany. It's good to see you. Hi, Jules. Wow. Jules, I have known since I was watching Heather very first in 2015.
Wow.
So wonderful to have you here, Jules. Okay, well, I'll probably use the green then. And this, I'm going to use this fabric for my inside. I'm not sure which part of it. It's got all kinds of different stuff. Probably
Lisa,
this.
Before you keep talking, Laura says that you could deboss the suede in your die cutter. In other words, you could squash it and it would sort of be embossed, and then you could put the ink in the areas you want to.
Well, I was just going to use like an ink pad and this stuff to do my embossing.
Yeah, I think it would work. I just don't know how well.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Okay, we're going to start with how to make the boxes. You're very welcome, Jules. I'm just excited to see you. Very excited to see you. I like my old friends just like my new friends. First, we're going to cut off these tops and bottoms. And you can do it with scissors, but I've got a paper cutter. So if you've got a paper cutter, you know, might as well use it. I'm not a very straight cutter when it comes to scissors, so I resort to tools. I almost did that not straight just because. And I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking that I might. It keeps getting caught. Quit it.
And Lisa,
Yes.
Beth says you could try on a scrap, of course, But Laura also said the suede fibers might catch the embossing powder where you don't want it. So you may.
Oh, that's a thought for sure. See, that's why you have friends when you do these things. So they can make you think of the things you didn't think about.
And yes, guys, thank you, Janet. Guys, make sure you give Lisa a thumbs up.
And while we're talking about that, we're going to do the next one on the 23rd. The second half of this will be on Tanya's channel. And I've got Tanya and Becky's channels both listed in the description box. I got that in there. I just didn't get the title of what we're doing today in there. But
well,
you're here anyway, so it's okay. But if you haven't subscribed to either one of them, do so because you'll enjoy it. Okay, now with this would be the spine if I just left it like this, and that's wider than what I want. And if you're using a cereal box or a cracker box or something, then that might be too wide if you just want one signature. If you're wanting to make it a big book, then you might want it really wide, and that's great. You can do that. But I don't want mine that wide, so I'm going to figure out how much half of this is. Okay, it's just a little bit. This is just a tiny bit smaller than an inch. So I'm going to cut it right in half, and that's how I'm going to do my sides, and then I'll trim this to match, and I'll have to trim this down a little bit to match too. But one other thing, I don't really think I want it this long, so I've got to decide, and I want to make sure that they're exactly the same when I cut them. So I'm going to try to cut them together. I don't know if my cutter will do that or not, but we're gonna try.
Lisa, you may find, have you got a clear ruler?
Yes.
Okay. Does it have like a quilting ruler? Does it have 1/4-inch grids on it or something?
Yes, I think it does.
Okay, because you may find that rather than trying to do it with just the cutter, that you make a mark with your clear ruler first. You want to switch back over and I'll show you. Yeah, see,
Like that?
See what I'm talking about? That use the grid lines on your ruler. Oh, not so much about, I was thinking about the spine.
Yeah.
I'm not so, that's not so much what I meant. I meant when you go to cut the spine in half.
Right. I'll do that too, but it just occurred to me this might be better to go through both of them than my
Yeah,
other thing.
it probably would. Hi, Violet.
Okay, so I'm just going to do this.
Everybody's hungry for your milk duds.
Yeah, I'm going to cover them up soon, and y'all won't be so hungry then. Okay,
Laura,
so now I've got
sounds good.
2 boxes probably about the size of those Jell-O boxes that Tanya's using.
Yeah, these are a little smaller, but these are kind of square. That's one of the reasons why they caught my eye.
Yeah, this is not going to be square. It's going to be like this. So, but I still think that's better than as long as it was. I think it was too long. Okay, so let's go ahead and trim everything to the size that I want. I'm going to line up my my fold on the line, and then I'm going to go just a little less than 1/2 inch. So I'm not going to cut off very much right here. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to end up cutting one of these off at the end, but I don't know which one yet.
Or are you going to cut half of it off?
I'm going to cut whatever's left over. Okay, I'm going to do that with both of these, and then I'll go back to Then I'll do the middle ones. So I'm just, the ruler works great, Tanya. Thank you.
I use this, well, it's a centering ruler that I got. It's from Fiskars, but you know, it has a 0 in the middle and then goes out.
Yes.
But it has grid lines like a quilting ruler, and it has a regular ruler on the other side, and I use it a lot. But then I've always used quilting rulers a lot too. So
mine actually is a quilting ruler.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't have the 0 in the middle. I like that.
Yeah, it's really nice for punching holes and signatures and stuff. And it wasn't horribly expensive with my coupon, you know.
Right. Uh-oh. That's all right. I'll just straighten it up here. Okay. So now what we've got are pieces I can put together like this. And then I'll have my signature just this size. But then I can take this one and I can attach it to this one. So then I've got like that. And then I'll have to cut this one in order to make this the same size. So this part I can take off, and this part I can take off when I get through. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm probably yelling at you because I'm standing up under my camera. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Okay, good. I tend to have a voice that carries anyway, and so I always worry that I'm yelling at people. I tend to go one or the other. I either go loud or I go soft. And okay. And we get those out of the way. And you want their these pieces that were glued down, those are the least sturdy. Like this. So you want to choose the sturdy sides to put together. And then you want to have it, and you don't have to do this. But I want my all white inside and all milk dudsy on the outside. So that's the way I'm going to put mine together.
Lisa, can you pop over here to me for a minute?
Yes, absolutely.
Because what it is, guys, is that you end up with two pieces that have a flippy flap on one side and two pieces that have a flippy flap on the other side, on both sides, like so. So that when you start putting these together, you end up with all these pieces where the flaps are doubled up. And then the outside piece, let me turn it over because when it's white, you can't really see. So see, there's two flaps here and then one flap on this piece, and we're going to put that together like so. And then where there's two flaps here, you put those together, and then this piece only has one flap and it goes on the outside. Okay? And then what happens is two flaps will fold like that normally, like they normally would, and then this flap on this one is going to go the opposite way. Okay, Lisa, you can go back to you now.
Okay.
What are you going to use to stick yours together?
Well, that's what I was just doing. I put a piece of this double stick tape on there on one side, and then I also put some glue.
Uh-huh.
Because the tape alone won't hold up to pressure of being messed with too much.
That's what I was thinking.
And so I'm doing both. You know, that way you're giving it the best chance you can.
Well, not only that, the tape will hold it in place while the glue dries.
Right. Okay. And you have to really, really burnish that down good. Make sure it's staying good and just let it kind of be that way. And I'm going to do the same thing again here.
Whoa.
You okay?
Yeah, I got way too much white paint out.
Uh-oh.
And I didn't quite get enough. I should have just done it like I did before, which is just lay it down and then cut it. But
well.
Yeah, well, it happens. I'm sure I'm not the first person. I won't be the last. One thing you do is go ahead and take that red thing off before you add your second little piece, because if you overlap it, then you mess up your ability to take that other one off easy. Been there and done that too. Okay, so I've got the double-sided tape on there, and I'm just putting some glue now. You can wipe the glue off, so if you get a little too much, don't fret over it, but you really don't need a ton. And you want to try to put your second piece inside where this, oh, that's hard to see. You can see where there's the two fold lines. You want the pieces to go together inside those fold lines, because if they stick out beyond the fold lines, then it doesn't then you've got this piece of hard thing sticking out that's not glued down as good. It's not as easy to use. I'm not sure I'm making sense. Hi, Jerry.
It needs to be able to bend is what the deal is.
Yeah, and Becky's just using cardboard. Jerry. Hi, Beverly.
Oh, and I haven't been paying attention to chat. I'm sorry,
Go
guys.
on and see your doctor. Hope everything goes well. You can watch the replay.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm just using the dividers that come in my Fancy Feast cat food because I didn't have any little boxes.
Lisa, when you can, pop over and show Becky's so that Jerry can see.
And I'm doing Lisa's pick 10 from last night real quick to decorate mine.
Hello, Elena.
She's going to decorate hers and then put it together, and we're doing the opposite. See, that's the neat thing about having several people doing the same thing, is you can see a lot of different ways to do something.
The other thing about doubling up your spines, the way we're doing this, is that it creates a stronger spine. And since we're going to sew signatures and stuff into it, it helps to add some strength. Plus the fact that one of the spines ends up going backwards means that, it just gives it a little bit more ability to wear better.
Yeah. And those of you that are doing just cardboard, you probably want to just stick a little piece, an extra little piece inside your
wherever your spine is.
Wherever your spine is, yeah. And you'll have to figure out the bends, but that's not difficult. This way, they're kind of measured out for you already because of the way you put it together.
I'm going to do a 4-inch little book with 1/2-inch spines.
That sounds good. Now I've got these two ends that I can just take off and not worry about anymore. And I left them on there just because of my own worries about not getting it just right. You wouldn't have to. You could do like Tanya did and cut them off to begin with. That would be perfectly fine. But I was leaving myself room for error. So
My stupid piece of tape doesn't want to come off. Oh, I hate it when it does that. There we go. Honey, Lisa, you might want to go back to yourself.
oh, sorry. Okay. Now, one of these boxes, probably you're going to have to bend backwards in order to get your dosey-doe.
Yeah.
So you've got so that it'll be like this. Now, if you want, you won't have as much trouble with that if you don't mind mixing sides. But I didn't want to mix sides. So hi, Joyce. It's good to see you. Hi, Katrina. I may say hi to some of you twice, and I may miss some of you altogether. And I'm sorry, both. Well, I don't mind saying hi to you twice, except that it shows that I can't remember if I said hi to you before.
Okay.
I don't like missing anybody. Hi, Sherry. I think we have said hi to you, but I don't think it was me. So hi. Okay, now I've got this book, and I want to decorate it. And my idea for decorating it, except I've folded it backwards. See, I've got this as my outside, the way I folded it, but I don't want that to be my outside. So I've got to refold it. Luckily, you can do that. And this is the time to figure that out. And be kind of careful because your glue is probably still not really dry at this point. So. Okay, now my dosey-doe book is got milk duds on the outside.
Hi, Journey.
That's fine, Barb. Gesso and everything works just fine. I'm just wanting to, I'm going to put leather on the outside.
There you go, Barb. Barb just gessoed it all.
Yeah,
So.
that works. You don't have to worry about it. And I didn't want to gesso it all, but I want to put fabric on the inside. So I wanted the inside to all be white. So, but the outside I'm going to do with the leather. And I'm still trying to decide black leather or this green.
Show me the fabric again you're going to use on the inside, Lisa.
It's this fabric. It's all different, but it's got that same kind of green in it. So I thought it would work with either one, but I can choose, you know, different parts of it because it's a scarf thing. But this is the pattern I was planning to use right here.
But you really want to emboss the outside.
Well, I thought I did because I didn't know how else to decorate it.
Well, if you use the smooth leather, you know it's going to emboss.
Yeah. So that makes sense to just do that and not worry about it because that saves some frustration level.
But Mina says the green is really pretty.
The green is
and
pretty.
It is really pretty with the scarf.
Yeah. But the black will look okay with the scarf.
Giovanni says, take the time and do a quick embossing test on both fabrics.
Oh, you're so smart. Okay, I will do that. Let's get a piece up here that
Oh, it is going to storm again.
I don't know why I'm thinking I have to do this in 45 minutes or something, you know, and
yeah.
So
okay. Can you pop over? I want an opinion from these ladies.
All righty. We need to help you get an opinion.
Whoops.
I have these two pieces of paper. And I'm going to use one for one side and one for the other side. Now, the thing is that one shows more on the outside. So which color should I use for the outside? The peachy pink and green one or the blue and green one?
Peachy.
Peachy? The peachy one is really prettier, I think. But
Yeah, that's what I would use too. But we'll see what everybody else says.
top one is, Susan says the top one. That's the peachy one. The red. Okay. Okay, Lisa. I got my answer. Everybody says that one. So.
All righty. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, since if you haven't ever tried embossing on leather and you want to know if it'll work or not, we will. I'll put it over here so you can see that. And you might as well learn from my experiment.
That's right.
I made a mistake getting embossing stuff down in the in-between. Okay, let me get a piece of paper. Here. We'll do it on this. I don't know why I feel like it's necessary to pat it, but on this, I think maybe I should. We'll find out. Okay, well, so far, it looks like it's going to be great on the green, but let's get out the heat gun and see.
That's always the best way to do it, Lisa.
Okay, it looks pretty. We'll let it cool down and see if it'll stand up while we do this one. Tanya, you said something just as I turned on the heat gun and I missed it. What did you say?
I was going to say, it's always the best way to do it is to go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
You find out so many things.
Ugh. Grit all over the place. All right, here we go with this one. Okay, what I can see right off the bat is that this black leather holds on to the little bits around the area you're wanting to emboss more than the green does.
Huh.
And I thought it would be the opposite.
Yep.
But the black makes a prettier, it's more solid embossing than the green. But the green definitely works. It's.
Can you hold them up closer?
Yeah.
Hi, Holly. Sharon says she loves it on the black. Everybody says pretty, pretty, pretty.
Hi, Holly.
Susan, it's one of those things you have to practice at. Make sure your embossing pad, your ink pad has good ink in it. And then practice. And Lisa, you could wipe off the little bits off the black with your paintbrush before you heat it.
Yeah, I should have done that. I tried to wipe it off with just my finger, but
Yeah,
that wasn't good enough.
yeah. But it is pretty on both. It just shows up more on the black on TV.
Yeah, it does. It shows up more. Well, it just makes a more solid.
Yeah, but like Gloria says, the green fabric is going to be so pretty with the other fabric.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to do the green because of that. Even if, and maybe I'll just try to get a little more ink on there, and maybe it'll hold better. It's like it just doesn't hold as much embossing powder as the black does.
Yeah. Laura and guys, you know, if you put a computer mouse pad underneath when you go to stamp, whatever you're stamping on, put the mouse pad underneath it and stamp, you will find that you get a better stamp unless you wiggle. I mean, it's just one of those things you can try. Something soft underneath or a pad of paper instead of hard on your table. It will sometimes help your stamping.
And when you use embossing stuff, you need to clean your ink pads, even if you don't, I mean, your stamps, even if you don't normally do that.
Yes. You need to clean that embossing stuff off.
Because it's glue, basically.
And it doesn't dry. It will mess with your rubber on your stamps.
Okay. Yeah, kids' foam sheets would work great, Beth. Just something softer. And I will probably, well, I can't, and on this, I don't know if it'll matter because it's going to be on top of this board anyway, but.
Giovanni says you have to just make 2 books.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't know if I'll make 2 books.
I overfilled my tub for my Mod Podge the other day, and now I have a big old mess.
That's not good.
No. Becky, how's your pig 10 coming?
Yeah, let's go over there and let her show.
I'm at 8.
Well, that's pretty fast.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's really cool.
Mod Podge skin. You.
Yeah, Mod Podge skin. Oh. Oh, I'm going to have a mess trying to get it over to the trash can. Ugh. And now I have it all over me.
That's looking pretty, Becky.
Yes, it is. Oh, it's going to be pretty. Okay.
I was getting tired by the end of y'all's pick 10 last night because this handwriting gets worse and worse down the list.
Oh, you had to handwrite? Oh.
Yeah, because I was writing them down as she was calling them out. I was just too tired to do anything last night.
Well, my handwriting, I mix everything. It goes between script and printing. My son always fussed at me because he never could figure out what I was doing. Poor child trying to learn to write letters, and his mama makes different kinds.
Yep. I did the same thing. I tried to teach my kids cursive, and I was like, oh, now whatever. Okay, an S looks really weird in cursive. I don't use it. So now I have to go back and look and see.
Kim says she always feels like she's molting after she uses Mod Podge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in grade school, we'd paint our hands and wait for it to dry so we could peel it off and go, ew, skin.
That must be universal.
Well, I was going to use Yes Paste to put this cover on, and then realized that I wanted to cover it with Mod Podge. And basically, Mod Podge is glue. And you guys do know that Mod Podge or glue and paste do not like one another. They are inhospitable towards one another.
Oh goodness.
I had never even thought about that.
Yeah, so I decided I better not use the Yes Paste. I better just put it on with Mod Podge. And
Well,
I'm
I'm
getting ready
planning
to
to
do
use
that,
Yes
Lisa. If
Paste
you
with
want
my
to come
leather.
over here. Hi, Marianne. I'm getting ready to put my outside.
All right, let me move it to you.
So, I had to make it a little bit longer because one side was white and didn't have any print on it. So it doesn't bother me that I just took a chunk off the side of it and glued this piece onto it so that it's long enough that it has print on everything. The what should I call it? The jelly print didn't go all the way to the edge is the deal. So, and I'm just using Mod Podge, and I don't know if you all know it, but I use Mod Podge mixed with glue. I know Lisa uses glue, right?
I use Elmer's Glue All
Yeah.
mixed with a little bit of water.
And I use Mod Podge and Elmer's Glue all mixed together and a tiny bit of water. Not a lot, but a tiny bit. And so I have my book all ready to go on here.
Uh-oh, I did it too close.
Uh-oh, you all right?
Yeah, it's just gonna, my corner might not be as good as I thought that it would be. Because I cut my angles a little too close to the actual corner.
Oh, okay. You want to go back over there? Guys, I'm just going to fold these corners in because this is paper and it will be thin enough that they will go on by themselves. I can fold it. I don't have to cut them off. Lisa's having to cut hers off is what I'm trying to say. Duh, 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 duh.
Thanks, sweetie. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Look what Hannah made me last night out of some fabric so I can put it in my fabric journal. When I find a background I want to put it on. Isn't that cute?
Huh.
It's made out of kind of a felted fabric.
Oh, that's pretty. Have we lost Becky's camera?
I lost you guys. I'm back.
Oh, okay. I didn't
connect.
notice until you were almost back. Okay, I just trimmed off here so that I can do this and I won't have all that bulk. But I cut really, really close here and my corner might show, which is not a happy thought. But so what I'm going to do now is put Yes Paste on it. I think I'm going to put the Yes Paste on my board.
I would.
Because it'll be hard to do on the leather. So. And I don't use Yes Paste a whole lot, so I'm probably going to look very inept as I do it. Would y'all like to watch somebody else?
Lisa, the one thing I will tell you that I have found about Yes Paste is to make sure you do it thin. You do not need much of that stuff.
Thank you for that. Well, Gloria, I haven't done much on it lately on my fabric journal. So it's still just kind of the same it was probably. I'll show pictures of it sometime, but I haven't done much in it lately. Usually I've done it on a video or a live stream, and so I think most everything I've done in it's somewhere on a video.
Oh, this is so weird. Now I'm on here
Let me move
twice.
over to you. So you're on there twice.
I know, it's so weird. I lost a connection and it brought me back itself, and now I'm two of me.
Okay. Well, I hid the one of you that's not working.
Okay.
I still see a block, but it's not. Your camera's not there, so people know where to look that way. And I'm going to go back to my Yes Paste real quick. When you're ready to fold yours and put it together, Becky, we want to concentrate on you so people can see how to do it when they don't have a box.
Well, I've just got to use Sharpie in any way and then paint with a small paintbrush. So I'm skipping the Sharpies because that's something I can do after I get it put together.
Yeah.
But I got to do the small paintbrush routine, and my paint's not working out too good. Let's see.
I should have asked Hannah to sit here and do the Yes Paste for me. She's used Yes Paste a lot. And I haven't.
What are you using to put it on, hon?
Was one of those silicone paintbrushes.
Okay, get a credit card and scrape half of what you put on off, I'll bet. I don't know how hard that brush is, but really and truly take it down. Unless you really think it's thin enough.
Well, it feels like it's barely there. I mean, it looks to me like on here that there's barely any there, but
okay, that'll be good. Should be good anyways.
I hope. I hope I know what I'm talking about when I say that. And I'm gonna turn this over.
I have Mod Podge everywhere.
I'm definitely going to use a credit card to try and press this leather down. So I better find one before I stick it on there. Okay. I think I'm going to have to go the other direction or I can't get it centered.
Okay. One thing is once you put your cover on, you want to make sure you fold your book up, because if you don't, the way things fold might not fold quite right. I mean, if putting it on flat does not mean that it fits right, is what I'm trying to say. You need to make sure that your folds will fold.
That's true.
Your cover.
Especially when you've got fabric or paper or something.
Yeah. Becky having paint, it won't be so obvious if it. What it is, I don't want it to tear on my spine. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I need to make sure that the fibers in either the fabric or the paper stretch enough and fold back enough.
Uh-oh, I just realized something. I guess it'll be okay.
Again.
But I wanted my middle spine to be leather too, and it's not going to be.
No, you're going to have to put a piece of leather on the inside.
Yeah, over my fabric. Because I'm just going to put the fabric down in one big piece too. Or I'll just leave it and let the fabric show on that one.
Well, that's what's going to happen on mine, is the inside's going to show. I've got my outside cover on. It's not Mod Podge.
Let me move it to you.
Dry a little.
Oh, that looks cute.
If you want to show it.
Yeah, it's on you.
And Barb says use black Sharpie on the corners, and you might want to do that before you fold those in, Lisa.
Okay.
And Marianne says that Hannah does awesome work just like her mommy.
She does do awesome work. She's much she does better work than I do. I can't wait to see what she can do when she's my age if she keeps it up.
Yeah. Mary is here. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Hi, Mary. We're glad you made it in. Now we got to find my black Sharpie. I know I have one.
This is paper, guys, and I'm going to just let it dry because it's just it's a jelly print on copy paper, and therefore the Mod Podge that I put on the other side of it has come through some. Now I'm going to Mod Podge the whole outside cover before I'm done, but I want it to dry a little before I do that. One of the things I can see, Lisa, is that we may have to figure out how to close this where it holds everything closed.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that, and I think I'm going to make some kind of a band just to go around it.
I was watching Jenny Belly's video, and she just, when she went to bind the middle signature on the single signature, she bound it from the outside and had extra long ties that would go around and tie it closed.
That's a good idea.
And if you bound it with something finer, you could tie an extra long tie into that one.
True. Or you could put a piece of elastic in the center, coming out in a loop.
Okay, you can go back to you. I'm gonna start cutting up pages.
Okay.
Because I want that to dry before I go any further.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to fold over my.
You may need to run your bone folder along the edge of your cardboard on that leather and give that leather a oh, dang it! My brain went
like
on
like scoring it.
Yes, score the leather from.
This is very, very thin leather, so it doesn't need that. But a thicker leather definitely would.
All right.
It's one reason I chose it, because I was afraid of what might happen if I chose something thicker.
I'm sorry, Beth. It's because I'm talking too loud. I apologize.
And once again, I'm using for this outside stuff, I'm using my art glitter glue. I need to have, I'm not an Amazon affiliate, but I need to have an Amazon link for that, just sitting below all my videos, because if there's one thing I would recommend to everybody, this is probably it. I love this glue.
Lisa, when we get done, I will talk to you about that.
Okay.
I don't know that we said hello to Linda. Hello, Linda and Christy.
Hi, Linda. Christy, did we say hello to you? And Journey? I hope we said hello to y'all. Mary Ann?
And Teresa?
Wow, a bunch of people have come in that I feel like I missed. We love you. Sorry we took so long to say hi.
We're in the zone.
In the zone, that's right.
I think why I keep dropping is I can hear a storm moving in. So if y'all lose me, that's why.
Okay, well, we'll hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, we'll just say a little prayer for you and hope the storm is good and not.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see here one corner that is not completely square, but because of I can't remember whose idea it was now. Whose idea was it to use the Sharpie? Somebody remember? Barb. Because of Barb's idea, it doesn't show very much. So thank you, Barb. I did it on all my corners just to be safe. I'm at the point now where I'm thinking about putting that other fabric on, and I'm realizing that the other fabric, see, this one's the same way. It was better than this, but I didn't lay it down perfect. And once you lay it down, it's down. So That's really a mess there. I'll just go in with some more black Sharpie. No, I'm going to cover it with fabric mostly. So where did that Sharpie go? I'll actually put it up, believe that or not. Okay. So now I've got my book, and so far it's folding very nicely. I like it.
Oh,
I think I'm going to need to go ahead and do the embossing before I do anything else. And I'm not going to do any embossing on the spines because I'm probably going to go ahead and just sew my signatures there. And that would kind of mess up anything I put on there anyway. And I'm not sure if I'm going to trying to decide if I want to emboss in these two. I might. We'll just see what kinds of things I've got. But I'm going to go ahead and do the front and the back. Yeah, I can do them all the same right side up and it'll work. So that's what I was worried about. Do I need to do some of them upside down? Okay. I have a few of these. I'm going to put, there are like 4 that say something. This one says, do more of what you love. One says, hello, sunshine. One says, embrace the journey. And one says, be brave with your life. And so I'm going to do one on the front and the back and one on each of these. And I think that'll be what I do. I don't know that I'm going to do any curly cues with it. I might change my mind and add them on, but I want the words for sure. So we're going to start with words. And I think I'm going to do more of what you love on the back.
Oh, we are forgetting to talk.
Talk, Tanya. Please
hello,
talk.
Lynn. Hi, Lynn. And Debbie.
My goodness.
You want to flip back over to me, Lisa? My
Sure.
book is up where it can be bent back and forth. Debbie, we didn't say hi to anybody. Please understand we just missed you. We're busy. What we're doing is called a dosey-doe book, and what it is, you take 2 boxes that are the same size, and then we trimmed the sides of the boxes. We made half size, and so the 2 boxes are actually put together in this centerpiece, and then you end up with it folded, and it goes, there will be, I just cut a piece of paper so you could see it. The signatures will go in there and in there and then in this side. And dosey-doe means back to back. And this is a really kind of an old concept for a book. They used to do it. I mean, there's some really old books done this way. So by using the 2 boxes and putting them together right here, we end up with all of our parts and pieces that are the same size. So while it's putting the cover on this way, it goes like that. Now mine is just drying, but that's what it is. Yes, it folds up like the letter M or W, however you want to look at it. And then there's 3 signatures because each one goes, you know, there's one like that. And actually, I'm not sure. I may put 2 signatures, 2 small signatures in each piece. But the idea is that you have 3 books basically together. Now, a dosey-doe book can be just 2 books, this much, but this one has 3. I hope that makes sense.
All right, I'm going to mute for just a minute so I can dry this.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to do the same thing. So, Tanya, it's up to you.
Go back to you, hon.
No, okay. Well, I'm going to
just a second. Let me show them. Because of you all sweet ladies, Mom got so many birthday cards. So I'm going to use the backs of a bunch of the envelopes from Mom's cards and some junk mail envelopes for my signatures. So, okay, now you can go back to you, Lisa. Hi, hon. Is everything okay? It took you a while. Okay. Thank you, Susan. Oh, Lisa got very quiet. And Lisa's drying. And Becky, I think Becky's drying. No.
Yeah, Becky's drying, or she was drying. That's why she muted herself.
Okay.
And I was embossing, so far I've got this on the front. It says embrace the journey. And on the back it says do more of what you love. More and what don't show up very well, but now I'm going to do a couple of things on the inside, and then I may do some flourishes on the front and back.
Oh, that's so pretty, Lisa.
Thanks. I'm liking it. So this is, if you have a old leather jacket you don't like, here's one idea of what to do with it.
You know, I passed up a leather coat at a garage sale I probably should have bought. I'm going to kick myself every day.
Okay, my pieces aren't long enough to do a 4x4, so I'm going to have to do a 3x3. So I'm going to trim these down to 3 inches tall, and then I'm going to start figuring out because I need 3.5, and then another 3.5. I might end up with more than my dose may go around again. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be okay.
Lisa, Laura has a question. I would answer it for you, but I want your answer.
Okay. Lisa, why did you use Yes Paste instead of fabric glue or leather cement? Because the fabric glue that I have, I didn't want to take the chance of this leaving little, let me put it on me real quick while she's cutting and I'm showing you. This is probably, I've used this on leather before and it works pretty good, but this is very thin leather and I didn't want the chance of it leaving dots in my leather. So I didn't, you know, where it makes I wanted something I could smooth out really thin. And the fabric glue that I have is really stinky and really hard to smooth out. And the Yes paste smooths out really good, and it's actually made for bookbinding. That's so I decided, since that's what it's made for, that's what I would do. And we had some, so.
And Lisa, that's the answer I would have given for you, but I just want to
tell us your answer then.
The same exact thing.
Oh, okay.
Because the Yes paste is really smooth when it goes down. I would have used Yes paste because that is just way smoother than something else.
I thought I misheard you, and I thought you said you had a different answer, and I was like, well, I want to know your reason too.
No, that would have been my answer had I been trying to answer the question.
Okay, I've cut mine down to 3.5-inch squares, and I'm gonna use my scoreboard to score the 1/2-inch little places that'll overlap. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we're watching you, Becky, because you're not the only person doing it that way, so they might need to see what you're doing.
So I'll see what I end up with here. I want to make sure my writing stays the right side up. So. Yeah.
Janet, craft stores do not carry Yes paste. Yes paste is actually kind of hard to find, but you're going to have to either order it or find it some strange place. Believe it or not, I found it at a tourist trap drugstore down in Orange Beach. But Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, none of them carry it.
Michael's used to.
Well, if they do now, Becky, I couldn't find it anywhere, and nobody had a clue. So your Michael's might, guys. I'm sorry, I'm hollering again. Your Michael's might carry it. I shouldn't have said that they don't. Any of them carry it, but I hunted here in Pensacola. I hunted for several weeks, and nobody had it anywhere. And I found it down in Orange Beach. So,
I had to get mine on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I think people can have found it at Jerry's Artorama and at Dick Blick.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
I remember people saying that.
Would be where I would hunt.
But I don't have either one of those things. It's easier for me to do Amazon since I have Amazon Prime.
I think I messed up.
How did you mess up, Becky?
I don't know.
Well, one of them's going to go inside.
Yeah, I've messed up. Because one of them needs to be cut longer, or are they all the same size?
No, the two middle ones have to have 2 flaps.
The 2 middle ones have to have, okay.
So,
all right. So they will need to be longer than your other 2.
Right.
Yeah. See, I messed up. I can't fix
it. Make it tinier. Take 2 of them and make the 2 middle ones and make flaps on them.
It's going to be real tiny.
It's going to be real tiny, but that's okay. It'll be cute.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is the measurement between the 2 flaps?
Probably 2.5 inches.
Okay. So, on the 2 pieces that only have 1 flap,
cut off 1/2 inch.
Cut off the 1/2 inch. Kim says you could add some flaps on with glued washi or masking tape. The big problem with that is, Kim, is bending them back and forth. But she's right. You probably possibly could. There you go.
Okay, so one has to go the opposite direction.
Yes. Now flip one of those. Take that piece and bend it. There you go.
This one?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now watch, I'll have it all.
Nope.
Move this.
Okay. There you go. Now lay that one in. Bend that top flap. Bend the other direction.
All right, so this one's going to be the one
No, you hit the bottom flap. No.
I want to make sure my writing's the right side up.
Okay. So are those two pieces right side up?
These are right side to everything's right side to me now.
Okay. On your spines, one side of the painty stuff is going to be glued to one side of the brown stuff.
So the first one would just go straight, and then this one, they'll both be bent the opposite way.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
So this will be this way.
That's right.
And then this one will be back this way.
There you go.
The wrong side of this is.
There you go.
Okay. All right. This needs to be scored on the opposite side. That's where
There you go. Uh-huh.
And it won't matter that because I got to cut that side off anyway. Okay. I'll chill out.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Kim says breathe.
For now. Okay.
And Jerry apparently did hers too.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well. I guess this is a live and learn type thing. Let me get tape and glue and stuff. Oh, I put everything away. Right.
I'm going to go back to me for just a second and show y'all a little problem. It's not terrible, but this one, most of the embossing paste went down into the leather, or I didn't have enough. And this one, see, these two glitter, and this one does some, but this one barely glitters at all. You can see it. It actually looks better on camera than it does in real life. But I didn't get enough on there. And this is the one I was holding while we were talking. I had inked it up and I was holding it and talking. And it dried just enough that it didn't hold on to as much embossing powder. So, FYI. Well, now I can't decide if I want any flourishes on this or not.
Well, I think it's one of those live and learn things, Lisa.
It is. It is. We all have to figure things out the hard way sometimes. Okay, I'm going to go back to Becky.
Okay.
I think I've decided just to put those. That's all I'm going to do on my cover for at least at the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to work on putting my insides on while we watch Becky.
Whoops. You're going to put what on?
The inside fabric.
Yeah, I'm leaving that until for a few minutes until that dries a little.
Life lessons in art. That's right, Barb. Oh, goodbye, Christy. Sorry, I didn't notice you were leaving. Thank you, Kim. I'm glad nobody's here to pick at mistakes or expecting perfection. Thank you very much.
Janet just asked a really good question, Lisa. I would say, yeah, Janet, that would be perfect if it was one long strip of cardboard. You could just, like you said, just score it where you wanted it to be.
Yeah, that would be a lot easier, in fact. It just wouldn't be doubled, so you'd have to maybe add a little piece in your spines. But you could do that after you got it scored and put, folded and everything. Then you'd know exactly where to do it. Holly, I don't think I can't add more unless I add more glue. And getting that stamp in exactly the same spot. I can't imagine me being able to do that.
But Lisa, she might be right. Heating the embossing powder and adding some embossing powder to it. Try it on your scrap. The embossing powder would let the other embossing powder stick to it.
And then, but what about the extra?
Okay, well, don't heat. Okay, heat the embossing powder. Heat the design that's already embossed. Pour your embossing powder over it. Let it cool. Then shake off the extra. Then reheat it and try it on your scrap first.
Okay.
You already did one. You've got, so you have a scrap you can try it on.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Oh. Okay.
And that's Teresa just said the same thing, Lisa.
I'm getting there slowly. Right.
Okay, I'm letting it cool. I'm gonna go back to Becky. I was just gonna show you that I'm trying it.
Oh, I still need to cut that off.
Thanks, Teresa. That gives me a little more confidence that it might work. I think it's cool now.
Woohoo! I think I'm getting it. Slowly but surely. Durr, Becky, durr.
What's going on?
Gotta take the tape off.
Yeah, it doesn't stick if you don't take the paper off of it.
Yeah, it's just anyway.
Well, it sort of worked, but it gives it a completely different look. And so I think I'm just going to leave it the way it was.
Okay.
It looks like it's been hammered.
Show us.
Oh, let me put the camera on me. I don't know if you can even tell. Any detailing that was there is gone, but it just looks kind of hammered. I don't know. That might be a good thing. It might not. I'm going to think about it some more.
Okay. Well, you know, you can always do that after the fact.
That's true. And I just made a mess.
All right, I got mine together.
Okay, I'm coming back to you.
So there's that. And then these sides open this way.
Very good.
So now we decorate the inside, eh?
Well, I'm not, yes, probably Becky. I've left mine until it dries some. That's, you know, but Lisa's going on to her inside.
Well, I've got the double-sided tape and the glue on it, so I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, no, I mean, the paper that I had put on it was it had the Mod Podge had soaked through it.
Oh.
So it was too sticky to really turn over good.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like the idea of just using one great big long piece of board. I mean, if I'd done just one of these, I'd have to make a book about what, 2 inches tall and 2 inches.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
And Brittany says she loves how small it is, and I think it's really cute.
Okay, let's see. I might just do painty paper on the inside.
But that's what I'm using on both of mine.
Yeah, I may end up doing that because I'm thinking about this fabric on the inside is going to be raw on the edges. I don't guess that's really a terrible thing. I do stuff like that all the time, but
As thin as that is, you don't think you could fold it under?
probably. I'm just too lazy.
Oh, okay. That's a good answer. I'll be right back, guys. I've got to check on something, okay?
All right.
That, and for some reason, I need more tea.
It's not going to be quite long enough. Okay. Oh. There goes the mail lady. She actually stopped, so there's something out there.
Yay, I hope it's something better than junk mail.
Or bills. They can keep the bills. They can keep
well, bills are worse than junk mail, so.
I think I'm going to cut my paper a little bit wider and then just trim away the excess. That way, if there's any irregularities in the, in my cover. I didn't notice that. That's got a weird place on it. Ooh. Can y'all hear that?
Is that thunder?
Yeah. It's going to get loud. Wow. So if you
go get your mail before it rains.
I probably ought to. I ordered a cookbook on eBay and it went to the house instead of here. And my son said they threw it up on the front porch, but not under the porch, just on the top step, and it rained.
Oh dear.
I said, I hope that cookbook is in plastic bag.
Yeah. Hi, Mark. We're glad you're here. I'm going to try to fold it under and see if I can get it to work.
Okay, I'm going to run get the mail.
Okay, you go get the mail. I'll let people watch me make a mess here. This fabric is so fine. It pulls and I couldn't even cut it straight. Can you see that? It's all wonky. So I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to glue it down here. Okay.
Got Janet's letter.
Yay.
I'll share that tomorrow night.
All righty.
Okay. I want to.
I'm going to also glue and put on this fabric a little bit of glue and just fold it at the end. I don't know how else to get it to fold under nicely. I was feeling guilty for being lazy, so I'm going to try folding it under. And it's not sticking down at all. That's funny because this glue usually really does a good job. I guess I'll just fold it down as I go. You could glue a ribbon around the edges. That's true, Joyce. That would be much easier. If it looks ugly, I'll do that. But I've already kind of got started on this route, and so.
I'm sorry, y'all. Jeff had gone today to the place where we're ordering our camper from, and I needed to find out some stuff about that.
That's fine.
So
We're just continuing on with our mess, so, or at least I am. Becky's probably isn't a mess. Mine. I'm trying to turn them under.
okay, well,
We'll see.
okay, I don't know who said it. I saw it, Joyce, and I don't know that we said hello to Joyce, but Joyce says you could glue ribbon around the edges.
Yeah, I saw that, and I may end up doing that if it looks hideous this way.
And hello, Kathy. I'm glad that she sent you a notice. And Holly suggested double-sided tape.
Yeah, that's a smart idea too. See, y'all are so good, and I didn't look in time to.
Well, you know what though, Lisa? If you put double-sided tape on ribbon, you have best of both worlds.
There you go.
Okay, and I'm going to put my insides on now.
Okay. Definitely going to need the ribbon. I got two sides that look okay, one that's halfway decent and one that's not good at all. So, because I couldn't tuck in that last side before the. Oh, I might can. We'll try.
Well, the ribbon will be cute in there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need ribbon on this bottom side. So I'm just going to trim it off and do that and not worry about trying to turn it under because it's. The main problem is I can't think of any ribbon that I think will really go with this that I currently own. I may stick a piece of lace around it instead.
There you go.
I have some of that.
Hello, Dana. I didn't see her pop in.
Oh.
Hi, Dana. Hi,
Pardon?
Kathy.
Barb's asking if you have rickrack.
I do have rickrack, but not in any of these colors. But so far, this is what it looks like. There's the front and there's the back. And then here's this. This is very sticky, so I definitely won't be putting any signatures in it yet. But I can do some. I've got some really
really what?
Some really light, delicate little lace that I could put on it. I was worrying that lace might make it too thick on those spines, but I think this will work okay. I'm tempted to just do the lace on the bottom.
On the place where you don't like it.
Yeah.
That'll work.
I may even I'm trying to decide if I should, I might even let it peek out a little bit from the bottom.
Oh, you've already put your designs on the front. I was going to say, could you turn it over and make that the top?
Oh, no. Well, I just dropped something. I'm not sure what it was. Hope it wasn't important because I can't see anything I dropped. Okay, Becky, let's go back and see what you're doing.
Well, I'm being a rebel like Mary and using gold and not a Sharpie because my Sharpie gold won't do on this for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You don't have to. Prompts are to help you, not to hinder you.
Yeah. Have you watched Mary's video from yesterday?
I watched part of it, and then I had to do some other things, and so I still haven't finished it yet.
She cracked me up with Gold Rebellion.
No. Oh, dear.
I was laughing so hard, and Scott's like, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "Mary's being a rebel on here."
Well, it's a pretty safe way to be a rebel.
Mm-hmm.
Go wrong with gold.
Nope. I had my own little rebellions while I was trying to do that one, so I understand. I've got yes paste all over my hand. I may change my mind and put ribbon on the top too. I mean, this lace on the top too, but I'm really thinking right now I like the idea of it just on the bottom.
Yeah, Janet, I saw that.
What's going on?
She said she gave Mary her own prompt.
Oh, I see. Everybody's liking the lace. Oh, Lynn is gone. Bye, Lynn.
Bye, Lynn. Sorry we missed you leaving. That'll kind of cover up that corner that was so yucky too, so that's good. I'm going to mute for a minute.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, guys, I was just checking with Jeff when I went off into the other room. He went to the camping place. Our camper goes into production next week sometime.
Woo-hoo.
And yeah, now it's about 7 weeks out, but once it goes into production. But there was some questions about some new part of the electronic equipment. You know, there's newer models. So he called this morning to Tiffin and got some answers, and it was a good thing we did because what the camper company, what the dealer had ordered for us is the older equipment, and it has to do with Verizon versus AT&T, and the newer equipment will work with both Verizon and AT&T, and since we have Verizon, we kind of needed that. So it was a good thing we checked on it when we did, because now it's sorted out for the production part of it, and we should be good to go.
Well, that is good you called, because once they start, it's hard to go back.
Well, we had called because I ordered 3 extra plugs. And the electric plugs. I had ordered plugs in 3 special places that they don't put them in automatically. And one of them, they didn't have down to do it the way I wanted. And, you know, when you talk to the right guy, he can tell you why they can or cannot do something.
Yeah.
And thank you, Teresa. And guys, it's been a long time coming. I don't know if y'all know this, but we've been without a rig for it was 2 years in January. We were in a wreck. Anyways, the guy we talked to this morning knew exactly where I was asking to put it, and he said we can't because the wall's not deep enough, this and that. And he went right away and checked and found out what I could do, and sorted that one out for me. And sometimes they don't live in them, so they don't think about what they might need. So we got it now, so that's the good thing. So that'll be all sorted out, and then we got this other electronic thing sorted out. And
I'm going to move back over to you, Tanya.
okay,
I didn't realize that we were still watching Becky Doodle.
And Becky, Janet is says that looks really good. I'm
Fantastic was her word.
Oh, fantastic was the word. Okay. Janet, it was 2 years in January. We it was 2 years, 1 month, and 6 days before the insurance company finally took care of what they were supposed to do. So, and we could have had a rig off the lot, but Jeff and I both wanted what we wanted, and so we ordered it. And that meant we had to wait.
Oh, okay. Teresa has some advice for me, so I'm going to read it so everybody can hear.
Okay.
She says, Lisa, have you tried an embossing pen? You can use it to go back and touch where it missed and add more embossing powder also. Just can't hold your heat gun as close as normal. Well, that's cool advice, Teresa. And at one time I had one of those pens, but I have not been able to find it anywhere. I was wanting to write and emboss something that I wrote. That's why I bought it, but I can't find it anywhere. But I found the little ink pad and something else that was with it, but I can't find it. So I know it's not my imagination that I bought it, but I need to stop making videos and just clean up my art room. What I need to do.
Hey, I found a pair of scissors I've been looking for like crazy yesterday when I was redoing this place.
Well, yay. What kind of scissors?
Just these little, they're Scotch, but I got them on clearance, I think at Kmart. These little suckers are sharp. I love them. I'd have another pair if I could find them. But they were in a bag of stitching.
Yeah, Teresa, you can tell us as long as the YouTube won't get upset by it. And Jerry, oh, she's talking about where you found the embossing pen. Yes, Teresa, please go ahead. Jerry, we have friends that have one in Vermont. That there's a lot of people up that direction that have them. I will tell you that one of the few states, of course, that did not have a dealership was South Dakota when we bought ours, but we went to Nebraska to get it, the original one. And here in the Panhandle, there's a couple of dealers. So we have one actually right up around the corner. So we, of course, went right with them. Because that way all of our warranty stuff can be dealt with right here.
That was a good idea.
Well, the insurance company wanted to buy one from Texas.
Because they're in Texas?
What?
Because the insurance company's in Texas?
No, the insurance company wanted to buy one from a dealer in Texas because it was cheaper.
Oh.
Okay, but that meant that it had to be sent from Red Bay, Alabama to Texas and then back here.
That's nuts.
Oh yeah, we yeah. It was, you know, we had to have an issue again with them.
Thanks, Janet. And thanks, Teresa. Teresa got hers at Lawn Fundamentals, a scrapbook and scrapbooking.com. And Janet got hers at Joanne. She says they sell them a pack of 3 for $8. Well, that's pretty good.
And my paper just tore.
Oh.
Yep.
One of the blessings of fabric is it stretches a little bit.
Yeah. And it's on, of course, it's on the outside spine.
Do you have any of the orange paper left?
Yes. And that's what I was just thinking, Lisa, that I would put a piece over it. So, but I may let it dry a little before I do that.
Teresa said she could have driven your new RV to you.
Well, see, that's the thing. They intended to do it, and I'm like, no. You're not. Oh, you could have driven it to us.
Yeah, Teresa could have driven it.
I might have let you do that, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't have let them do it. So.
My son did that one time for a friend's mom. He drove a almost Pepto-Bismol pink Volkswagen Bug with eyelashes on it from here to Maryland. He said he got out of it at a rest stop, and this trucker looked at him. He said, "Dude, that's not what I expected." Craig's like, "I'm just driving the car up there for a lady."
Jerry, that's the thing. You need to find I don't know who they take theirs to for service, but they're and they're sold by private dealers. So if he's really interested in one, he should call Tiffin directly and ask who might be a dealer up there. They have a list of dealers. And Lisa, I do have a piece. It's the lighter color of the red, and I will put it on there after a bit. If you want to take that back off of me, because I'm going back to cutting paper.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show y'all. I'm calling it finished at this point. I don't know for sure if I'll add any more embossing but I'm happy with it like this. It's a little book, so I think it's okay for it to be simple. I'm liking it. So now I'm going to start cutting papers too. I think what I'm going to use for my inside papers is book pages if I can find them. I wasn't expecting to get to this point, so I don't have any sitting around that I know are sturdy enough or will hold up to the sewing. So I'm going to have to look for that a little bit. So I'm going to go to where Becky is and let y'all watch her while I look around.
That sounds good. Teresa lives in Alabama. Well, Teresa, the big thing is that, believe it or not, they have to go to the dealer. Red Bay delivers them, Tiffin delivers them to the dealer, and then you have to get them from there. So it would have to gone to the dealer before we could get it. So we can't even go up there to Red Bay and pick it up ourselves. But, and Lisa, it's gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm really happy with it. So far, I think some of the favorite things that I've made since I started doing art are the things that we've made in the Hangouts together.
Oh, that's fun. I have to say, Jeffrey brought me a sandwich, so I'm going to have a little bite. I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear me chewing.
Okay.
my paper's not long enough, so I'm going to just add something at the end.
There you go. Add some lace.
Something. I don't know what yet. Okay.
Well, this dictionary paper is very thin, but it seems to, it doesn't crack when I fold it. And, you know, it's not cracking. So I think it might hold up good enough. I could put it in there. It's very fine. So, but I'm wanting something I can just do some little collages on. And I won't have to worry about a background, because the background will already be something backgroundy there. And that's why I'm thinking about using these. So I'm going to use some of these dictionary pages for one signature. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do 3 different kinds of book pages for the 3 different signatures. So I'm going to go looking for a second one now and let you go back and watch Becky some more.
I'm probably putting 500 times the amount of glue I need on here, but oh well. It's going to have alien goo on it, like Linda McAllister says. Alien goo. Glad Tanya mentioned how dark it was here for me so I could lighten the camera, because it's gotten even darker since then. So
Well, I'm glad she said something too, because that
it's
want people to be able to see what you're doing.
Yeah, it's just getting darker and darker and darker. I know I had that thing right here. Well, I don't know what I did.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to mute because I'm going to be tearing out book pages.
Okay.
So you're going to have to talk, Becky.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Now you're going to make me talk.
Yeah, you got to talk.
So, since I'm having to talk, I'll talk about what I'm going to do tomorrow night. I'm going to show how to use the Martha Stewart scoreboard to make envelopes. And even we'll even make some dimensional ones. But before we make envelopes, we'll do a dirty dozen to create our paper that we'll make an envelope out of. Does that sound good? Or make any sense whatsoever? Yeah, I've been seeing a lot about people getting snow in the north. You know, Scott and I toy with the idea of maybe we'll move north, and then we're like, nope, ain't doing it. Scott says he's too old to shovel snow. Well, this is not wanting to bend. Let's trim this away. Oops.
Barb just got a scoreboard.
Cool. Don't lose the little triangle that comes in the back of it. That's what we use to make envelopes.
I'm going to use, let me go to me for a second here.
All right.
I'm going to use some pages out of this old book. And I'm going to put this picture inside that as the signature cover for that signature.
Oh,
so that's, and this book is small enough that I can trim off these a little bit, and then I can just fold it in half to make my signatures. So the words will actually be going the right direction.
Well, that's
So I might do some of those found poems or something inside that for fun. I don't know. We'll see. But it's neat to have a book small enough that my words can be going the right direction.
yes, it is. That doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't.
I was going to say it's because the book is so tiny.
Yeah. Yep. Say yay for tiny books.
Becky, that sounded like a good idea. Hello, Mark. And Teresa, you're right. There's always got to be a middleman.
It's bugging me that this doesn't match this, but you know, I've got these where I trimmed away. I could glue another little narrow 1/2-inch binding right there. Then all of my bindings would match on the outside. Ooh, that one actually.
Using these envelope pieces, I keep having to glue the flaps back together.
Yeah, takes a little extra work then, doesn't it? Okay, let's see.
My Fitbit's becoming a nag. She keeps telling me to take 15.
And what does she want you to do for 15?
Walk. Go for a walk or take her for a stroll. Take me for a stroll. Oops. Ow. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue that right there. Whoa. I'm never buying a great big tacky glue ever again. Ever. I don't care if it is money saving. It's a pain in the neck when it starts getting low.
I think it's a pain in the neck all the time.
This upside down bottle thing works really well, Becky.
The one that's got the cap?
Yeah.
I have one of those, but it's still so hard to get the glue out that it makes my wrist hurt, and I just don't ever use it because of that. So it's probably getting really thick now and would be even harder.
Uh-huh. I've got something going on over here. Lisa, can you read the question? Dana's got a question.
Okay, sure. Is this a group project or like a mashup, follow along type thing? Well, they I don't know exactly how to say that. It's a group project in that anybody who wants to join and can do it with us, but it's not but we're doing it kind of differently. Like Becky did use a Pick 10, which is kind of like a mashup, to do the cover of her book. Tanya used some jelly prints that she had to do the cover of her book. I used fabric and leather to do the cover of my book, but we're all doing a dosey-doe book. So the dosey-doe book itself is the project, the group project that people are following along and doing, but how you do it is up to you. Does that help or make any sense, Dana? It's just a 2-session thing. We're trying to do one book. Let me show you the other books that we've done real quick. In the last 3 months, we're doing one little book a month, and we do 2 sessions per month. Well, on the first one we took 3, but we've done 2 ever since after that. Let me move it to me so I can show you these books. Okay, the first thing that we did was a scrappy book, and this is our scrappy book. At least this is mine, and we've got videos on my channel and Tanya's channel for these. And then this one also, Jerry Bellini. Am I right, Tanya? Was it? I'm confused. Did Jerry help us through this one?
Jerry helped us with that one.
Yeah, Jerry helped us with this one. So, so there's one. This one we did 3, and one of them is on Jerry's channel too. Recycled Parts for Art. And then this next one we did with Jerry, and one of them is on her channel, and one of them is on my channel. But this was the bank book, the altered bank book that we did with Jerry, and that was a blast. So I've just really loved these. And then this last one, last month in March, we did a toilet paper roll book, and we did this one with Meridale, but there's just 2 videos for it too. One on my channel, one on Tanya's. And so kind of what we're doing is we're making a book, some kind of little book every month, and having a guest artist come and play with us. And Becky's our guest artist this month while we make the dosey-doe book. So here are our other 3 books that we've done. And yeah, the last time was toilet paper roll. So this is these are the 3 that we did: January, February, and March. And then and so now we're doing this dosey-doe book in April. And we're hoping to keep on and doing one a month. So we'll see. You're welcome. Yes, you can play along. We would love for you to play along. And if you're I don't know if you're in either one of our Facebook groups or Becky's, there's all 3 of us that are here today. Just a second. Let me let my dog out. He's breathing at me. Cubby. Come on, buddy. Takes me a while. I'm so used to hearing him. It takes me a while to realize that he's asking to go out. Yeah, a monthly hangout. So, okay, well then you have access to the, you know, you can show what I'm saying is play along and show your books. We want to see what you do. People show their books in her group and in my group. And some people that are not in either one of our groups show them in Becky's group. So whatever group you're in, you can show the books. We love for people to play along. That's what's fun. Do you have anything to add, Tanya?
No, you did it all. That was perfect. But I think it was last month, Mary said that we had made tiny books, small books, and with the Hangouts. And when Lisa and I sort of started the Hangout thing in January, it wasn't necessarily to make books every time, but to just do a Hangout. Well, the books are so much fun that we kind of have decided that we're going to see what we can do about making 12 little books through the course of the year. We've been doing 1 Hangout a month and swapping out who we play with.
2 Hangouts.
Well, yes, but I shouldn't say that. 1 project a month.
Yeah,
2 Hangouts.
sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I said it wrong. 2 Hangouts a month, 1 project. And the first couple of months we did 3, and it gets to be a little too long. So we're trying to choose projects that can be accomplished in 2 Hangouts, so that we're not kind of really, really, really going past that amount of time. So that's the plan. That doesn't mean it's going to happen necessarily, but that's the plan.
Dana, if you want to join my group, I'll let people in by special request, but I just don't have it open. I have to send you an invitation. And so if you want to join my group, you're welcome to. You'll just friend me on Facebook, and then I can send you an invitation. And I'm Lisa Conway on Facebook. Or you can find me in Tanya's group, and then you could join my group too. That'd be great.
No, don't get up. Nope. Go lay down. Go lay down. Buddy.
Okay. The pets are getting restless.
Cat herding.
First my dog and now the cats.
He just came home wet. He's wanting to be dried with a towel. Yes, he's spoiled. Buddy, you're going to kill me. Please quit trying to trip me. Come on. Come here.
Okay. Oh, Lisa, that's cute.
I think it's going to be good. Make a little cute little signature.
Oh, Dana, that's the whole point of doing something live, is to have questions answered and things found out about, that kind of stuff. If
you help us, we help you.
Yeah, it's, you know, if we didn't want to have questions in the middle of a live, we wouldn't want to do a live, I think, because the whole fun about doing lives is the interaction with you guys.
The only bad thing is sometimes we miss the questions, and that makes us feel bad. But
yeah, always, guys, if we miss a question, ask again, because you know, sometimes chat goes by really quick and we don't see it. Dana's channel is about learning, so it's like, okay. that's I read it, Dana, but I hadn't really paid attention to it. Is that rude of me or whatever? But I probably, if I'd have been paying more attention, would have realized that. That's cute. My little envelopes that I'm using the backs of are taking forever to make pages out of.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know, I don't want to use the ones that have addresses. I can't use the fronts because I don't want to use the ones that have addresses on them. So I'm just, you know, trimming things down, and but then the little flaps have a habit of not being totally glued together, so I'm having to glue them together, which is kind of interesting.
Boy, these are tiny pages.
I'm going to come over and look at your tiny pages.
Okay, and Beverly is asking you a question, Lisa. How many pages are you putting in your signatures, I think?
Yeah, and I'm not sure yet. However many this is. Let me look. Okay, we got
and
one.
Becky Beth is asking you a question.
Oh, I don't know if she's asking me a question. She just says, I love how your cats lounge on you, and she just received my mail.
Ah, okay.
Hey, woohoo! Now she can have some extras. So my pages are going to end up 2 1/4 by 2 3/4 for this book, because I want them to, you know, not stick all the way to the edge.
And mine are 3 1/4 by, what did I end up, when they're folded? Mine are 3 1/4 by 2 3/4.
Mine are the biggest of all.
Pardon?
I said that mine are a little over 5 by about 3 1/2.
But that's
so
that's the whole piece, right?
Yeah, the whole no, this right here.
The size of her page.
The size of my page.
Oh, this is driving me nuts.
Let me make sure.
No.
And I've just got 11 pieces of paper, Beverly. And I think that's what, since I'm going to collage on them, I'm not going to do too much more than that. I think that, oh, let me move it to me so you can see. I'm trying to show you how how it fits in the signature. I could do more, but I probably don't think I'm going to. I'm going to give it room to add collage. So I'm probably going to do them. The other one's probably about like that too.
I think I'm just going to use a master one and just lay it on here and use scissors because that cutter is driving me bonkers.
Well, I know I definitely need a new little cutting blade. I didn't tell y'all, we went out garage sale, estate shopping, whatever you want to call it. We went last weekend or the weekend before, I don't even remember. And I ran into another one of these Fiskars cutters, which is what I use, for $3.
Wow.
Made me happy because I'm going to need one in the camper. So, because I'm not going to want to move everything every single time we go out. If I can have a box of stuff that I can leave in there, well, you know, scissors and that kind of stuff will be a whole lot easier.
That's true.
So,
that's not working so well.
Joan, Lisa is using book pages. She's got some dictionary paper and some book pages. I'm using envelopes, the backs of some envelopes that Mom's birthday cards all came in. Becky, what kind of pages are you using for your signatures?
Just some painty papers, and this is just copier paper, so it's real thin.
And if I run out of the card envelopes, I'm going to use, you know, junk mail envelopes. Guys, I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
I've done that a bunch today, haven't I?
Right. I think what the problem was is that paper was just too thin. So I've got several in a pile here. I'm going to do a whole stack at a time. Maybe.
Maybe.
Let's see here. No. Sometimes when you try to do more than one will shift out of position. So my pages might not be perfect, but this little book is giving me a headache.
It doesn't want to be perfect.
No.
You got a rebellious book.
That's right.
Well, right now I'm just trimming my pages down to the size I can use in mine. So,
gotcha. Is that Cubby?
Yeah, that's Cubby. I'm sure he saw somebody in the alley or
squirrel.
Yeah, squirrel, cat, bird, something. That's his acknowledge me bark. It's not a I'm angry at you bark. So it must not be somebody he considers an enemy.
That's good.
Yep.
I'm sorry, guys. He was getting on the ladder again. Yeah, Beth, we won't move back into the camper. And especially after becoming homeless because of it, of the wreck, we will never again be without some place to live. That was just, it was just not, it wasn't fun. The whole part of that part of our lives was not a fun 5 months at all. So our lives have changed. My shows, I've lost momentum with my bead shows and that kind of thing. So we'll probably just use it for long trips. Yeah, Holly, I had to go talk to him about it. Okay, and Lisa, did you see Jones? Okay, you got
Yeah,
Jones.
Becky answered it.
Okay.
Thank you though, because I did miss it. If she hadn't caught it, it would not have been answered.
Holly, if Tanya's Jeffrey Scott is like mine, that wouldn't do any good.
What did you just say, Becky? I was reading something and
I said if your Jeffrey Scott is anything like mine, smacking him wouldn't do any good.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
Yes, Holly, no more ladders, but you know, he's up there. But at least I can see him. Yeah, the gutters are still an issue.
Yeah, we need to deal with that here, but neither one of us wants to get on a ladder. At least outside, because the ground is not smooth.
You need to call Greg and have him come up for a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janet, dear.
Oh, man. That's it. My signatures are just going to be wonky because this paper is weird. It's just flat out weird.
Weird. And what? Oh, because it's painty?
Yeah, it's painty paper and it's copier paper. It's not even, it's, you know, it's not very good paper.
Well,
I got it at the Goodwill. But
that's what I'm using on my cover, which was interesting. It thinned out real thin.
yeah, it's got a mind of its own.
Okay, I'm going to go back and see if I can touch up my cover here. What I want to do.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I still had this on me. Y'all need to watch somebody else for a while. I'm boring. I'm just cutting paper.
It's not going to dry today. I'm going to have to do some coating of it and stuff like that because it's very sticky.
Uh-oh.
Of course, it's humid here, and it's been raining, and the whole house is humid because if you're not running the air conditioner or the furnace, it's very, very wet here. I honestly think that I'm going to use. I don't think I like this on that back spine. It's just too light. I'm going to use this.
So I use painty paper on the inside, but I stamped all over it with a flower. So it's got something else to look at besides the painty paper.
Well, this had this leaf design on it, so I was happy with it, but I've torn it when I stretched it out to cover over the spine. It just stretched too much. Which is, you know, things happen. We'll just mend it.
All right, that's probably enough. That'll leave me some for another project if I don't cut it all up. I'm thinking that's a great way to use that. Now I got to sit here and fold it. Fran's chat keeps disappearing.
Huh.
Is she on her phone? Because it does just disappear on your phone. Oh, yeah. It'll pop up for a little bit and then it's gone. I don't know how to help on a phone.
Laura says her chat disappears when people are quiet. Huh. Now that's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, it doesn't stay.
Okay, so we need to talk more so that they can see chat.
Beth, will one stamp send the 10 napkins?
No, Holly, one stamp won't do 10 napkins because it turns into a package. I can promise you that. Unless you're taking all of the extra layers and only have the front, the printed part of the napkin. The package becomes more than a quarter of an inch thick. If it's more than a quarter of an inch thick, it is a package, not an envelope, and therefore one stamp won't do it. Even 2 stamps won't do it. It becomes a package, and it's a by weight, and oh, I can't remember. The cheapest package is like $2.79 or $2 something. Now, if you take all the layers off, it might work. Okay, guys that are watching on your phones, Mary has a comment, and she says if you watch in portrait mode, then the chat won't disappear.
And I know Mary does a lot of viewing on her phone, so.
And I think Dana just basically said the same thing, but in a different way. I can't believe how wet this is. It's just not drying.
Well, you're adding more glue to it.
Yeah, and I'm adding more glue to it. Well, it's like wet all the way through. You know, it's like
her cardboard's saturated.
Yeah, the cardboard is.
I was just being silly.
Yeah, I know. And see, that's why Yes Paste would have worked so much better. But like I said, I was afraid to put the Yes Paste on there and have it not like the Mod Podge.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this in an odd way because I just as soon not have the second piece tear. So I'm just kind of putting it on there however it sticks. Not exactly pleased with that, but that's the way it's going to be. I'll decorate it up somehow.
There you go. She did gesso it first, Mark.
Yep. That was the thing. I really didn't expect it to take that much, and I didn't use that heavy of a coat of Mod Podge either.
Somebody asked how many pages that I was using in my signature, and this dictionary page is about half as thick as that book page. So I'm using a lot more pages in this signature. So we'll see if I regret that when I start adding collage to it. But
Lisa, are you going to put just one signature per section of your book?
yes.
Okay.
I want it to have room to expand. So my signatures will be kind of, well, I don't consider them fat signatures, but for such a tiny book, they might be fat signatures.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I decided just to do one because the back on my book is a little less than half of an inch.
Yeah, mine is right about a half inch. Okay. I think I was going to put some Mod Podge over the top of that, but I think it's going to just not be Mod Podged at all anymore until this thing dries up a little bit, because it's just really wet.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are y'all going to sew your signatures directly into the spine of the book? And are you going to leave dangly things on the outside, or are you going to sew them with dangly things on the inside? What are you going to do?
Well, I am definitely sewing up, and I'm sorry for the brr, brr that's going on. Somebody decided to fix the gutter right now. I'm definitely going to sew them in, Lisa. And I hadn't thought about dangly things, but I'm thinking maybe on 2 spots, but not on the other spot.
Yeah.
It's all about, okay, like this is going to be the sort of the front of the book, or yeah, there's the front of the book. Okay, so this one opens this way. This one opens this way. And this one opens that way. So I'm not going to want dangly things in here. I don't know. I'm not going to want dangly things over there either.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I didn't know if I might want to put little paper dangly things inside the signatures.
Yeah.
I don't think I want any dangles on the outside.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Or Mike could make the dangly things long to stick out the bottom and just make them like bookmarks. I don't know.
If you make them where they stick out, if you make them where they stick out the top, if the tie is at the top and then then they can be like bookmarks. Okay, you want to take it back off me because I'm going to go back to cutting up envelopes.
Okay. Well, Becky's making little bitty paper signatures. We'll watch her for a little bit.
Okay.
None of us are doing anything exciting at this point. I'm just cutting papers to make signatures. At least Becky's signatures are pretty. Mine just look like dictionary page.
Dana, yes, paste. It depends on how thick you get it and what you're putting it between. But yes, paste dries it reasonably quickly to where you can go on and work with it, but you can't, it doesn't dry so fast you can't move it around just a little bit. Sorry for the echo, guys. I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, mine, this fabric on the inside, I could feel the yes paste through it, and I really thought that was going to take a long time, but now it already feels dry. I'm sure it's not completely dried, especially on the leather side, because that's, not getting air to it. But it's definitely work withable at this point. I could probably go ahead and sew my signatures in if I wanted to.
Holly.
Yeah, dangly things. Holly, that means a lot of different things to different people and their age. Just think about that for a minute. Age makes a difference to the answer to that question. Oh, boy.
And we don't want to talk about that.
What?
Because we're all old enough to know.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
Tanya, more.
No more.
Yeah, Dana, I love the art glitter glue, and I like it. One of the reasons I like it is for that. But you're right, there's no wiggle room, or not much anyway. But that's my go-to for almost everything is that art glitter glue.
And it's one of the glues I don't have, and I would probably ought to get some because I probably would be in love with it.
You probably would. I love that tiny little tip, so you can just go in tiny little places.
Yeah. I do like this aqua glue. This it's Tombow aqua glue.
Show it again. I just moved the camera to you.
Oh, okay. It's Tombow Mono Liquid Glue, and it has a real tiny tip on one end, and then it has a real big tip on the other end. And they make different ones. This one, it's clear, it dries clear. I really like it. I'm going to stick embellishments or something down, I don't use it because it's awful thin. Now, Jerry had one that was green. The top and bottoms were green. And she said it dried really fast. This one is definitely permanent. Not all of these Tombow glues are permanent. So you do want to look to see that.
This is 19 pages folded in half.
Let me go to that real quick. Okay, Becky.
This is 19 pages folded in half. And
Mark, we'll have to show you next week when we stitch in our signatures, but never mind. Lisa, have you got your scrappy book right there?
Yeah.
Okay, show Mark dangly bits.
Okay. Here you go, Mark. Just the things that you dangle off the edges. Lots of times it's from where you tie your signatures. You know, when you put beads or whatever. And sometimes people, when they tie their signatures, well, let me show you a different way. When people sew their signatures inside the book, and I don't have mine, this isn't done that way, but you'll have the place where it ties in the middle of the signature, and they hang dangly bits off of that too. So that's what we're talking about. I hope that helps. That's all the dangly bits we're going to show you right there. Okay.
Lisa, swing it over to me. I've got my book that shows dangly bits on the inside.
Okay.
I just have to find them. This is a sewn signature in one of my file folder journals, and I sewed all of the signatures in with dangly bits on the inside. I just left the tails that I sewed it in with long, and then added little paper charms to it so that they could be bookmarks. So you can move them around in your book and have them as bookmarks. And so this has 3 signatures in it. And see, I just put little dangly bits on the inside. So that's what dangly bits on the inside look like. And is he being bad? Oh, Lisa, do you notice that he knows what they are? He's just being bad. Yeah, Janet, Tombow does make a tape. Just a minute. I have my tape runner here somewhere. And I used to use it a lot. I'm hunting. I will find it. And it has their refills. It's like an ATG gun, only little. Let me put that up. This is the Tombow tape, and this one is permanent, but they do make one that's not permanent. I think it's green. You can, and Michael's and Joann's has this. This whole top comes off. It's stuck because I haven't used it in a long time. It comes apart, and you replace this part of it. So you can get a new piece and put it in there, and you have the same outside. One of the things that happens is that this piece gets gooey, and if it does, then it doesn't work real well. But you just You just use it like this. You just run it. And I doubt you can see that. But
I just realized I was muted, and so I answered your question that yes, I knew Mark was teasing, but I did it while I was muted, so I didn't want him to think that I was ignoring him or ignoring your question.
I see. And I like this tape. It works real well. I just haven't been using it lately for some reason. So, okay. There we go. Back to y'all.
Well, I've found a third book that I'm going to use pages out of. Let me put it down, so let me find it again.
So that you'll have 3 different kinds
So
of
I'll have 3 different kinds. This is from the Book of Knowledge, and it's from 1926.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's got a lot of cool pictures in it. I love those, but I'm not using those in here. I'm going to say I may use them on the pages, but it's got a lot of cool pictures on it and stuff. I tried to pick pretty plain pictures. I did pick a couple of pages that have, you know, something on them like that about Jack Frost and the snowflakes there. But what I'm doing for these is just cutting off this border and then cutting them in half, and that's going to be the third signature. I'm also cutting them. Oh, I think I shouldn't have done that.
I'm going to murder him today.
Well, he's still making noise. That means he's not on the ground.
No, he's on the ladder. We had a bad rainstorm yesterday. I mean, we've had several bad rainstorms in the last week. I mean, bad rainstorms. And the one yesterday, the gutter that they just put up that he fell off the ladder putting up keeps filling up with camphor tree leaves. We have a camphor tree. Everyone that sees it says that it's the biggest and oldest camphor tree that they've seen. The county arborist is supposed to come out and take a look at it next month, so that we can get it on the registry so that they can't cut it. But it sheds in the spring, and it's shedding leaves everywhere, and they're filling up the gutter. So yesterday when the storm came, it was like a waterfall right outside my window because the gutter was full. Ooh, tape runners to add glitter. That would be cool, Teresa.
I have never tried that.
No, but that would be really
something
cool
to try.
Oh, I'm not supposed to kill him, though. Yeah, that's true, Teresa. I won't have him to fuss at. And he won't be able to make me a sandwich. See, he made me a sandwich earlier. So.
Yeah, you got to keep those things in mind.
Pardon?
You got to keep those things in mind.
I know. Well, and getting a new one would make me absolutely crazy because I have had this one 35 years this year, and having to train a new one, oh, I cannot imagine. No way I'm training another one.
No way. Well, I'm to the point the signatures are ready to be sewn in.
Well, I guess we ought to turn it over and let her sew.
Amen.
So
go for it.
Or do you want me to wait till next week or next time?
No,
well,
you can just show us.
Why don't you go ahead and sew them in? I may want to make some pockets and stuff in mine next time too. So.
All right. Well, let me get my. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put anything right there. Let me grab something.
Is that okay with you, Lisa?
Yep.
What do you want to do?
I'm okay.
Okay, because it's only 2:30.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I planned to be. I figured we'd be out here at least another 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to use this Scotch glitter tape because it's sturdy on my edge where I didn't get all the way to.
Yeah, Teresa, it takes a lot to break up, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not sticking. Oh, razzle dazzle. I'm at the end. And I don't
What's
have
the
enough both sides. Oh, it makes me sad.
you're at the end of what?
My glitter tape. I thought I had a pink one. I could use the pink one, but I think I used it up already too. That's pink.
Teresa's got a cowboy. I didn't know they had cowboys in Alabama, Teresa. However, we have some friends who live in Alabama, and their son actually rodeos. Janet, does this envelope look familiar? It's one of its pages is going to be in my little book.
Jeez. Let's see.
Barb says, Becky, you ought to glue that tape down so you can go ahead and use it.
I don't have enough for both ends. I'd love to do that, but I don't have enough to do both of the ends. See, it's about half the page, not enough. I don't like that either. Well.
Okay, Teresa. Uh-huh.
I could use my leftover bits.
Yeah. Teresa, do you mind if I ask where in Alabama you are? I think I've asked before, but I can't remember. I'm getting really kind of dumb in my old age. Beth says to cut it in half long ways, Becky.
I don't think I have enough width to cover both of what I've got, because this is a lot wider.
Okay. Okay. We used to live in Wetumpka before we went to Nebraska, before we went to South Dakota. By the way, if anybody's come in and we have missed you, we're sorry. We didn't mean to. It's sometimes hard to watch everybody in chat. And I apologize that we missed somebody, but
Don't like that either.
it just happens. Chat moves kind of quickly some days.
It does.
And I think, Lisa, I'm going to end up with 2 small signatures. I think they're going to be 5 pages each in each section from the way they're looking.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I just realized this third book I picked out here, the pages are kind of cracking.
Oh, that's not going to work.
No. And I've already pretty much cut them all. So
they go in your pile to use for collage.
Collage, yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and cut them this size just so they'll all be the same. I've got one more. And then I'll have to go find something else.
All right. Let's see.
Barb says that looks good, Becky.
Thank
With the blue
you.
back there, it makes the spine stand up.
Well, I just glued some pink. And
oh, how fun, Marianne. You need to take a picture of it in a bit and put it in my group and show it in group. You definitely have to show us. She left her bottom flats, guys.
Well, that'll be interesting to see.
right, I need my pokey thing so I can poke some holes here.
Oh dear.
Sort of.
I'm going to use waxed cord on mine.
Linda, we're actually living in I think our 8th house. That's what happens when your husband works for the federal government, and to go up the ladder, you kind of have to move around a little. And that's what we did. Actually, we've lived more than that because we've lived here 3 times. And my son was born in Texas. So we've definitely moved around a lot. We would have moved more had we been able to get out of South Dakota.
I think Scott took my pencil I had sharpened.
Marianne, Janet just linked to my group so that you can post it. Because we sure want to see it. She left her flaps, Lisa's what I was trying to tell you. She left her little flaps on the bottom. I have not decided, but I may go in and paint these papers. I think I just might. Do any of you watch Cat Hand?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Did you see the little book she posted the other day? It's just a tiny little single signature book, but she had painted all of her papers, and they were so cute.
Oh, I hadn't seen it. I saw the video had been uploaded, but I hadn't watched it yet.
Hadn't watched it yet?
No, I was busy yesterday. Let's see this. I don't know how loud this is going to be. I might have to turn myself off.
Okay. Kathy, until we moved back here, well, let's see. No, I shouldn't say that. I moved myself down here before I married Jeff. We moved around town several times ourselves. We moved to Texas ourselves. We moved back from Texas ourselves, but that was when we were way young. Then after that, Jeffrey went to work for the federal government, so they moved us. It's the thing about it is you have to watch the packers, and I always unpacked my own. Okay, Marianne, my email will be in my videos. It's always at the bottom of my video. Send it to me, and later on tonight I will upload it. Thank you, Janet. But so from Texas back here, from here to Montgomery, from Montgomery to Nebraska, Nebraska to South Dakota, the government moved us. So we didn't have to do that. Then when we went to get out of South Dakota, that was where we got into real serious trouble, and Jeff had to do it. It took 5 trips down here, and we got rid of stuff like you wouldn't believe before we moved. But it was 5 solid trips of stuff to move down here, and he had to do it that time. So yeah, we've done it a few times, and every time I get rid of stuff, and every time I get more stuff back. So is it going okay, Becky?
Yeah, I'm making myself a cheat so that I only have to do the measuring once.
Okay. Brittany. Nina, anytime you want to have something post, you want something, just holler at me. I will help you with that. Glad to. But yeah, the thing of it is, Gloria, is that Jeff changed position. So part of the problem was we probably would have stayed here the second or third time we moved. I don't remember when it was. We probably would have stayed here had we not run into a little problem with his job. The federal government all of a sudden decided his job didn't exist. So he was kind of out of a job, technically out of one. You know, when you work for the federal government, they don't fire you. But it's an interesting way they do things. Anyways, his job was gone, so we had to move if he was going to find a new job. But he's changed categories several times. He was the photographer at the Lyndon B. Johnson Memorial Library in Texas.
That's cool.
We actually met. Johnson had his own personal photographer. That it was kind of an odd situation that his photographer was a federal employee, but he photographed their family in family life, and Jeffrey worked with him for a while. And it was very interesting. This envelope says, recycle this envelope, please.
Yeah, more. Okay, well, I found a new book.
Facilities and little facilities. I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Becky. What?
No, that's fine. I just said I found another book to use.
Oh, good.
And it's a woodworking book. So we will see.
Oh, thank you, Janet. That works real well. That way she doesn't have to hunt it. Now, after this, I probably won't get to it until this evening because we're going to go take Mama out to dinner tonight. So I won't be around for a while. If I don't kill him for making woodpecker noises. When we were in South Dakota, we had woodpeckers that would get on and honestly almost eat the house. It was very annoying. And they made noise like that. It always makes me think of that. I haven't decided if I want to go ahead and put these little shiny places in, but I'm thinking I might.
I'm going to move it to you so they can see what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
The windows in some of these envelopes. I'm cutting up junk mail envelopes now, and I love the sound of this stuff. Yes, Jeffy Woodpecker. Yep. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put some of them in there because I think it's. I like the sound, so I think I'm going to. That means I have to find different envelopes. Oh, there's a big, nice piece right there, and it just makes fun noise, and I like fun noise. So, and I'm just cutting random envelopes. I cut up the envelopes that I had laying here from Mom's cards, and now I'm cutting up. I think I just cut this a little bit where the window has some stability on both sides. Now I'm just cutting up random junk mail envelopes. Stuff that doesn't have an address on it, so if I don't paint it, that it doesn't matter. So, and like I said, I think I've decided on 5 signatures. Here, I'll kind of show you. Not 5 signatures, 5 pieces of paper per signature. Well, I think I'll show you. Oh, they're there. So it's got like 5 pieces of paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, folded in half, and then put 2 of them. Let me get my book and see how wet it is now. Oh, it's still really wet. Ugh. But I think if I put 2 per section of the book with 5, so that's basically 10 pages, but I'm going to sew them in as 2 separate signatures. Is what I have decided. And these are pretty reasonably heavy papers. It's, they're birthday card envelopes, so they've got some weight on them. And I may go in and trim, how, oh, and there's a word for it. When you pile up paper in a signature, you end up with this where the inside pages grow. And actually there's a word for that, and I can't remember what it is. And then real fancy bookmakers will go back and trim all these extras, and I may do that because it's sticking out a little bit, and I don't think I like that. So creep. Thank you, Laura. It's called creep, guys. When the pages start to creep out, and in a book that's cut off after the signatures are folded.
Yeah, I just did that and realized I didn't cut it off enough, so I'm going to have to cut all of my signatures off a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm not excited about that.
All right.
I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to be excited about it.
Yeah, and like I said, I may go in and paint these pages the way Kat Hand did on hers, because I really thought that was fun, and I may do some of that just to I don't know, give it a little bit of fun insides too. But I may not. I haven't decided. There's this thing about, are you going to use your book or do you just make it? And some days I just make it.
Me too, sometimes. The making is the fun part.
I've managed to cut not quite 4 signatures so far. And they're going all over, and I don't know why I don't get a clip and put a clip on them. There we go.
So you're putting 2 per each book, Tanya?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna use small signatures, Becky. Only basically 10 pages. But by putting 2 small signatures in there, I don't know, I think it just is going to sit a little bit better.
Yeah.
So.
Ah, shoot. It slipped. Sorry.
A friend says she's got a Harlequin stencil. She must have wanted it for her book. Okay, Marianne. Lisa, you might want to change it back off of me because, you know, what I'm doing is kind of boring.
All right, let's see what Becky's doing. She's sewing signatures.
And Laura says that she follows Ann Osborne Reed. And, you know, Laura, I watched quite a few of her videos, but I didn't realize that y'all make books on Wednesdays. Oh, Becky, that's pretty. Now, did you end up doing a marker on the edge, or is that something that
I did Sharpie marker
on the edge? It really makes the book all stand out.
So there's one done. One signature sewn. I'm going to do the 2 outside ones first, and then I think about leaving enough of this to do a thing to wrap around.
Okay. You might want to show them how to do a signature just in case there's somebody that doesn't know how.
Okay. Well, I went through and I've marked, and what I do when I'm going to put the signatures in, I make myself like a little master chipboard piece. It's the width of my book. So there's the width of my book. And then what I do is I center this in my signature. And when I do that, I make tiny marks on the ends so that they
push it out away from you a little bit, Becky, so it's more, yeah, you're almost off camera. Okay.
So I try to do it so that when I line it up in the next one to make holes, the holes are all in the same place in every signature. So you don't have, you know, one signature's up, one signature's down. And then I'm going to sew mine from the outside. That's what I did on this first one. And I'm leaving the tails for right now. But what I do is I take about 3 times or 3.5 times the length of my book. And that's what I use for sewing. And I've got the needle that came with this little We Are Memory Keeper set. Because y'all are watching, I probably won't be able to thread the needle.
That's normal. That's just normal. Mm-hmm.
So come in from the outside on the center hole of the book. And then you'll come in from the outside center hole here. Maybe if I can get it in the hole. Here we go. All right. And don't pull your thread so you pull it all the way through. You want to leave your tail. And then go into the one at the bottom or the top, whichever direction you're comfortable working. And you go out from the inside to the outside of the book. Then the key is you don't want to pierce your thread when you put it back through because you have to go back through the center hole. So I kind of pull the thread toward the hole I just came out of so that it's pulling it space here. And then I can poke through and not pierce my thread with any kind of good luck. Uh-oh, almost unthreaded my needle. Okay. And I'm just keeping this taut so that I don't end up with excess string on the inside of the book. Then you go back out through the top hole of the pages and the book. All right. Now you're on the outside. What I do is I take my needle and I go under the first stitch to the bottom hole. I go under it, and then I just tie a knot.
Gloria says your cover's gorgeous, Becky.
Thank you.
And Fran said that she used her Tim Holtz die cut with some transparency film to cut that Harlequin stencil, but it didn't quite cut it, so she's had to trim it quite a bit, but she got it to work.
Cool.
So I can understand why she'd be very happy to have one if you've had to fix something that didn't quite cut.
All right, so I got one more to go. Now I need to decide, do I want to leave enough to do a wrap? Because if I do, I want it to be able to go all the way around, even after this book grows.
I was going to say, that's the thing. We have to figure out how we're going to finish it. And now I probably won't on this tiny book, but I want to show y'all.
So you need to go over to Tanya.
Yeah, I want to show y'all something because on bigger books, I use more holes. And I do something a little odd. And I have a reason for it. So, okay, on something this size and even slightly smaller, I use 5 holes instead of 3. And you can do the same kind of tying off as Becky does with 5 holes. But if you see, it's hard to see, but there's a hole there, there, and there. But I wrap my threads all the way around the top and the bottom. And the reason is, especially in a book this big, this part right here, if you don't get it, if it's not tied down to something, it has a tendency to get caught on some stuff. And seeing as how I'm kind of rough on things, stitching around the outside, or at least around the outside of the signature, means that that spot right there at the bottom and right there at the top is held into my spine. And so that's why I do that. Plus, if I'm making these inside Billy Bobble dangly things, they come straight from the top instead of having to come from out here and in and around. So that's something to think about. You know, if you want to use these as your bookmarks, you need to have your threads end up at the top, not in the center. So that's just something that if you go to bind it by yourselves, that's something to think about. Okay, Lisa.
Okay.
Okay, Marianne.
Well, I'm at the place where I've got my signatures. I've got my book. I just need to bind it. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that. I don't want to bind it now because I want to think about it till next week. And I want to make sure this is really dry before I go poking holes in it. Okay. So I'm finished with what I'm ready to do today. If y'all are at a place where we should stop, it is after 3 o'clock. We've been on here for 3 hours. Well, hi, Becky. You came in right at the last second. It's good to see you, though.
It's a good thing that it will pop up on her feed and she can watch it later.
Yeah, she can watch the replay. But
shall we show where we're all at then, Lisa? Go ahead.
Yeah.
And and
Okay,
kind of
well,
show
let me
you.
show. Since Becky's brand new, I'm going to show her start from the beginning. This is my cover. I covered it in leather, and then I did some embossing on the outside, and then I put fabric on the inside. And these are the signatures I'm going to use. And this is what my book's going to look like. I'm pleased with it. I think it's going to turn out cute. I think that looks fine like that. I had originally intended to have leather there too, but I kind of think I like that, so I'm going to leave it. So that's where mine's at. And Tanya, show us where yours is at, and then we'll let Becky show us where hers is at, and then we'll hang up for the day.
Okay, that sounds like a deal to me, because then mine can get dry and that kind of thing. This is where mine is at, and it is very wet, and you can see that my cardboard is warping some. I used painty paper that was on copy paper, so it didn't have a lot of thickness to it, and when I used the Mod Podge to glue it in, it just warped it real well, which is okay, because I will go through and I will Mod Podge both, because it right now it's not Mod Podged completely, and I'll put another layer of Mod Podge on both the sides when it gets more dry. I covered the outside with one piece, and then when I covered the inside with one piece, I bent it, the paper tore right here, so I had to mend it a little bit with a piece of the paper, which is fine because the spine is just going to show, and it actually works real well because this is white and green, and it goes to white and green, and then there's a bunch of white and green on this side. So I really like how that came out. I'm using all kinds of old envelope-y things. I had a whole bunch of envelopes that came with Mom's birthday cards that y'all sent because you're all so wonderful. Mary's saying she's going to do her pages tomorrow morning in her impromptu. I'm going to use 2 signatures. I've got 5 sheets of paper here, and this is a little heavier paper because it is the envelopes, and so it's not like copy paper. It's a little heavier. So I've got 5 sheets folded and in 2 signatures, and each of my spaces is going to have 2 signatures in it. And Lisa, are we going to sew our signatures in before next time? Or shall we just sew them in when we get?
I was going to sew them in when I get here.
Okay. Next time I'll sew mine in too.
And then I'll make plain it a little bit.
And I'll have my cover ready.
Yeah.
One of the things we need to think about is how we're going to keep this little guy closed, because there are 3 books here basically. So whatever we do to close it has to be put on, and you have to figure that not only are you closing these 2 books, but you got to close this book back here. So we were discussing that before we came on today, that Becky I think is going to do a wraparound tie, and we'll let her show you. But you know, you can put it on elastic that goes around it. There's a lot of options. You could tie in something that wraps all the way around it. So you want to think about that before next week. So that's where mine's at, Lisa. Okay. Put it down like this.
Linda said she's finished her book, but she's having a mental block is where she wants to go from here. I understand you got a couple of weeks actually to think about it. So we'll do the second part in 2 weeks, and maybe your mental block will be gone by then. And Barb says they're all lovely. She's working on hers and she'll post pictures. And Patricia's book is drying. So Barb says it'd be good to do a wraparound, and I agree. Whether it wraps around from the middle, or whether it wraps around the whole thing and isn't even attached at all, there are lots of ways to do that. So we'll explore some of those next time. I'm going to go real quick over to Becky and let her show you where she's at now.
Okay, I've got my signatures all sewn in.
Oh, sorry. Just a second. I thought I moved to you, but I didn't. Okay, now I am.
Okay. Well, I got the signatures all sewn into mine, and I got to thinking, I think I might add some beads to these, just real short ones, like maybe 3 or 4 of these beads like this, and then do a belly band, I think is what I'm going to do.
Do a belly band up and, up and down.
This way. So it would go around.
Uh-huh.
Instead of around, just like slide it on from the side.
Okay, that'd be cute.
So that's it.
Yes, Cheryl, we're adding pages in all 3 places. Becky, can you turn it there so that people can see that 3 signatures.
Pages, pages, and pages. There's 2 there and 1 there.
Let us see. Yeah, and then flip it around. There you go. That's it. See how it looks, Cheryl? Oh, your painty papers are so cute in there, Becky.
I think so too. Now what will I do on it? Or just
it's pretty just like that. Put some quotes in it.
Oh, I hate to say this. I may have to change my mind.
Uh-oh.
That doesn't mean I won't use these for something else.
Yeah.
But then I might go in and paint all of these like Kat did on hers and just paint them before I stitch them in.
That would you paint them on a jelly plate or paint them with brushes or what?
Well, Kat just painted them with her fingers, but
cool.
Yeah, I don't do that very much, so I probably will paint them. I've watercolored books before. Watercolored the paper and it soaks through, and I like that.
I like to do that, but then do a base color, let it dry, and then just flick or splatter different colors on it. That looks really pretty.
Cheryl, that'll be okay. If you get all your signatures cut, we will do, we're going to bind ours next time. So that way we'll do it real slow so you can watch us. What you will need is something to punch holes. Let me find my hole punchy thing. Oh, it's gone away. There we go. You'll need something to punch holes. You'll need a ruler, usually. It doesn't have to be like this one, but a ruler. You'll need some kind of cord. This is waxed linen. It's real heavy. I won't be using that because it's too heavy for this book. I have this nylon cord. I have waxed cotton and unwaxed cotton, both, but I thought I might use this nylon cord because it's green and matches this stuff.
Yeah, that'll be pretty. I was just trying to figure out what I might use on mine because it's going to show.
And then you need a needle. And my needles that I like to use have gone off to the other room, but you need one with a big eye. Excuse me. And on this particular project, one that probably doesn't have too big of a body, this one would work just fine. Here, let me put it on top of something. This particular plastic canvas needles, they're a little heavy. They're a little big for this, probably for this, what I'm going to use anyways. So, and scissors, of course. So anything else you guys can think of that we'll need to have her show her how to bind it?
I like to use a phone book.
Oh, yeah. Phone book. And mine is right here somewhere, right here.
Mary says she's thinking about adding some small muslin fabric or canvas pages in her book. I think that's a great idea.
Uh-huh. Cheryl, what we use the phone book for is so that when we're punching the holes in our signature, and even if you use the phone book, you might want to have your mat below it. But then it's just helpful to get your signature punched. So the phone book is very helpful, but any old book will work. Any book that you don't care about that has a reasonable number of pages in it like that will work. It just helps you to hold it. There is such a thing as a book cradle, but you know, I don't have one because I'm not going to buy something like that.
Yeah.
And then you'll need to think about some way to keep your book closed. And that's just a hairband. That's not going to work real well, but that's an idea. So, okay, you can go back to.
Okay, Fran has a question. What is an impromptu and how can I find it? It's live streams that are done that aren't scheduled. Like I do one every Monday night, but I do some other times and I call those impromptus. Mary has impromptu live streams too, and she puts impromptu on there a lot of times, and I do too. I don't know if other people write impromptu on their live streams when it's not regular, but that's what she means by that.
And ding our little bells so you get notified when we're impromptu.
Yes, that's true. You'll
Yeah,
ding
if
everybody's
you
bell.
on any of the channels of people that you watch, if you click on that little bell, then they're supposed to send you a notification. However, Janet said the other day it was 30 minutes into my stream before Janet got the notification.
Yeah. I've had that trouble. In fact, some people I wouldn't even get a notification for every once in a while. It's like, I don't know why. But so if you know that they stream at a certain time, like Tanya always streams Sunday afternoon at noon Central Time, and Becky always streams on Wednesday evening at 6 Central Time, and I always stream on Monday night at 7 Central Time. And Mary always streams on Friday at 7:30 Central Time. If you don't get a notification for those times, you can just go look for us, you know. And the other people do the same thing. But something but when it's an impromptu thing, if you don't get a notification, then you don't, you know, you're kind of out of luck.
Yes, Barb, that's what's happened. Tippy says I'm done.
Yeah, I think I'm done too. I think this is all for today, folks.
Yep, I think so. And we'll sew in our signatures and finish our bindings next week. I am, like I said, I am going to cover this whole thing with Mod Podge so that the paper, you know, has some protection over it, because I don't want it to get all dirty and yucky. And then if I decide I'm going to paint my papers, that's probably what I will do, is get them painted. I like using watercolor on papers because it leaves the paper smooth. It doesn't add that texture that craft paint leaves.
And then you can do anything on top of them. Craft paint, there are some pins and things you can't use. So
right. Lisa, before you close, let me go get my book and I'll show you one that's done that way.
Okay. And Mary, I forgot to mention your 4:30 morning stream on Tuesday and Thursdays. I apologize for that. I know you do it. I just never show up those because I'm trying to sleep. But yeah, Mary's almost always on Tuesday and Thursday mornings too. If you're an early riser, that's a good place to be at 4:30 in the morning.
These are traveler's notebook size notebooks that I have done, and these are just junk mail envelopes. But this is watercolor, and because it's watercolor, a lot of them are very thin, and they soak through the paper. I only paint one side, and it soaks through the paper, and then it gives me like a real pretty background. And you know, I sat here and did all of these envelopes, but I'm almost thinking I would really like to do this too, the pages on that. It's just, they're fun to write on. I keep one of these in my planner, and I like the sound of the envelopes. So,
Tanya,
yes, ma'am.
Joyce said she would like to watch you paint your pages. So if you're going to do it between now and next time, maybe you could do it on a live or something, or do a video so she can watch.
Okay. Joyce, there might be where I painted some like this, but I will see what I can do. And if Joyce, you are in my group on Facebook, right? If you are, then I will sort of announce when I'm going to do it. I may do it one afternoon this later this week so that I get it done. Okay. I'll try to figure out when I can do it, and I will get on and do a little impromptu live, since how we talked about impromptus. But I will put a notice in as soon as I figure out what day will work. I'll put a notice in. And the other thing is if you're doing this, you got to be prepared with paper or something everywhere around you, because what happens is that you paint this and it's wet. It's very, very wet, and you've got to put it somewhere and let it get dry. Now, I know Lisa has a place she hangs her papers, but these get drippy. And what I use is this is freezer paper, and you can see I've put black stuff. It's plastic on one side and paper on the other. And when I paint papers and stuff, I have this all around my chair on the floor, because I have hardwood floors that Jeff spent a lot of time on. So, but I'm afraid that if I were to try to hang these up, that they would drip on my table. So I have paper everywhere on the floor to spread them out.
They would. I've tried it, Tanya. They would drip. You do the right thing. You're smart.
Fran says she uses an opened out recycling sack to dry pages on. Yeah. Yes, Patricia, I painted all these papers before I bound it. So I will make sure to do that live sometime before next week, so that you have time to paint and get them ready before the following week when you need to have them ready. And I will look at my schedule and I will put a date down and I will announce it in group. Okay. Don't forget Becky's live tomorrow night at Becky. I always forget 7 or 7:30.
7.
7
Eastern time.
So I'm done unless somebody else has a question.
What's the matter, buddy?
You're welcome, Joyce.
Okay. Well, we're going to go. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you at Aunt Beck's tonight. God bless you all.
Tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night. Yes, not tonight. Tomorrow night.
Bye, guys.
I think Beth just said she was going to do an impromptu when we get through here. So you might jump over to Beth Schuler's channel and watch her impromptu in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.